Luke here with the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel, and I'm making a knife in the middle of Alaska's wilderness. I'm gonna be sleeping in my own shelter, building a forge out in the woods, making my own charcoal kiln, and forging a knife from scratch. It's been a couple weeks since I've been here at the shelter. We got quite a bit of ice and snow since I was here last and sealed up the shelter really well. Well, I think I better bust out my shovel and start digging things out. All right, that looks pretty good. I think it's time to go find some kindling though. I'll tell you, one nice thing about this cold weather, it made the snow so hard you don't need snowshoes. Well, I want to get a roaring fire in here pretty quick because I want to figure out how much of this snow is going to melt. And I don't want to be underneath here when that happens. So whatever's going to melt, I want it to melt before it gets dark tonight so that I can have a nice dry bed to sleep on. Oh, my firewood is so wet. It rained really good before it got cold. We gotta prop it all up and get it to dry out before I can use it. All right, we're gonna let that fire thaw out in the shelter, get everything warmed up. And I'm real excited to build a forge out here and do some blacksmithing projects tomorrow, but I'm gonna need a lot of charcoal. So I'm gonna build a charcoal kiln and I need a lot of wood. I think I'm gonna go ahead and start cooking some lunch. I'm getting hungry. I got some frozen salami I want to thaw out. Put that right there. I got some cheese wrapped in tin foil. Whew. Oh, that smells amazing. I got a big slab of soft cheese covered in a fig marmalade. Just warmed it up over the fire. Got it already pre-cut into little cubes. Got a nice Italian salami. There we go. Warm cheese, little salami, some fig sauce. We're going to use this to make our charcoal kiln. Got the wood jammed in there about as tight as I can. There's a lot of snow and moisture in these logs. I'm going to try to get as much of that moisture out before I put the lid on. You can already start to see a lot of steam coming out of the barrel. You can hear the water sizzling in the bottom of the barrel. Not going to get any charcoal until all that water's gone. Oh yeah, that's really taking good. A lot of steam and a little bit of smoke. Still feels pretty cool in the middle though. We're just gonna let that go for a nice long time. I'm gonna be checking on this fire on and off all night long. All right, I think it's time to start making this place comfy. I put my animal hides in there. Got a couple caribou hides as a mat, a nice buffalo hide as a blanket. Oh, it's hard to see on the camera, but every now and then the smoke coming out of the barrel is catching on fire. You can hear the wood popping and stuff, so I think we're starting to get some charcoal on the bottom, but most of this smoke coming out of here is actually just steam. It feels wet. Pieces like this are still wet. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cook a baked potato here. Get this thing surrounded by coals. For dinner, I thought I'd cook myself a whole chicken. I'm gonna go ahead and spatchcock this bird, which is basically a way of preparing it so it lays down flat. Makes it cook a lot faster. Just cut either side of the spine and take the whole spine out. Some salt and pepper. Let that roast. See how we got flames coming out? Still a lot of steam coming out, but look at that. Look at the flames coming out. Once I consistently see flames coming out of the barrel, then I know it's time to put the lid on. So just keep this fire going all night, and hopefully tomorrow we're gonna have a whole bunch of charcoal. All right, we're gonna go fill this up a couple more times. Make sure I got plenty of water for tonight. It's a long tradition that you have to burn at least one thing when winter camping, and I think it was my water bottle. It's got like a goiter. I set it near the fire to keep it from freezing and got it a little too close. Yeah, I better take care of that. It's my only water bottle on this trip. Now let's see how the bird's doing. Looking good. All right, let's check on the charcoal. See, the bottom of the lid is covered in wood tar. Starting to come along. Little jar of gravy here. It's pretty frozen. Get that warmed up. Got some frozen oil. Got bacon chunks, green onions, yellow onions, and chives frying in a little butter and oil. Definitely overdid the baked potato, but that's okay. Got butter, salt, pepper, chives, onions, bacon, and a little bit of gravy on a very overdone baked potato. It's a little charred on the outside, but the inside's still good. All right, let's take a look at this chicken. Oh, that looks pretty good. Oh, you know it's done when you can just pull the leg off and you don't have to cut it. Oh. We're gonna try some spicy honey barbecue sauce too. Oh, that is a good potato. Oh, it's so hot. Oh, that gravy is just tangy and good. Whew, I like this spicy honey barbecue sauce. Oh, slow roasted chicken over a fire is hard to beat. That was good. Oh. Got a little dessert coming our way. This is a little Australian cookie called a Tim Tam. And if you bite the ends off, then you can use it as a straw. And then all the hot chocolate melts the inside. But that is a Tim Tam slam right there. It's definitely feeling colder on this trip. Put a thermometer out in the tree over there. I'm gonna go check it, see what it says. Yeah, it looks like it's about 3 degrees Fahrenheit right now. All right, I'm gonna bring this inside the shelter. We're gonna see how good of a job I did building this thing. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just stick it right there on my bed. Let's see, we're almost 30 degrees, just a little below freezing. It's kind of fun. Look at all the icicles it's made. All right, I'm gonna go grab some wood real quick and I'm gonna get ready for bed. I'm gonna use my jacket and gloves as a pillow. Oh, I'm pretty tired. I think it's time to go to bed. See you guys in the morning. Oh, good morning. Oh, I'm pretty warm, even though the fire's gone out. But my feet are a little bit cold. But I need to get up. My hide froze to the logs. Oh, there we go. Oh, well, that burned down pretty good. Can't remember exactly, but I think I built the fire under that barrel around 3 p.m. and it's 8:30 a.m. right now. So 17 hours it's been burning. I think it's time we crack it open and see what we got. I expect it's not completely done, but we'll see. Oh, the barrel's much lighter. All right. Look at that. That is great charcoal. There's some pieces that aren't done all the way through. This'll work. That, it's so light, you can just feel the difference. You can see that some of it down there is still cooking. Well, that seems to have worked reasonably well. We're gonna let that sit with the lid on while I go make some breakfast. Hopefully it'll cool down a little bit more. All right, I'm gonna be making a tinfoil breakfast. It's hash browns, sausage, bacon, and vegetables. You can hear it sizzling already. Let that sit and cook for about an hour or so. Green orange. That looks pretty good. Gonna add some of this spicy honey barbecue sauce. Oh, that was good. Oh, look at that. It's 10 o'clock and it's all sunny. Got my forge and my anvil set up. You work the billows by pumping the handle up and down, and that turns this flywheel, which runs a fan and blows air into the coals. Unfortunately, the grease on the forge is frozen up, so it doesn't want to work very well right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the fire going, and I think that'll solve my problem. So there's a little tooth right here in this gear. And when you spin the hub, the centrifugal force puts the tooth out and it grips the inside of this gear and engages the flywheel. There's a lot of grease in that hub, and that grease is cold, and so sometimes the tooth isn't coming out and engaging properly. I think warming it up is helping it work a little better, but it's still got problems. Let's see if that helped. Yeah, that's working. So I got a piece of leaf spring steel from a broken ATV trailer. We're gonna go ahead and heat that up. We're gonna try to turn it into a knife. All right. There you go. There we go. I'm almost done using up all the bad charcoal. This stuff still works pretty good. Starting to get into some really good charcoal here. Stuff is burning great. I was thinking how I want to replace this with a metal handle. All right, it'll still work. It's just going to be a lot more work. We'll let that cook for a couple hours. While I got the forge cleared out, I'm gonna go ahead and empty it. There's a bunch of coals and ash down there and the fan won't turn. Oh, I need to sit down. This is going to be a while. You know, there's a common myth amongst metal workers that files should only be used in one direction. Turns out that's not true. Works a whole lot better if you do it in both directions. Wall of my structure caught fire. Now, I'm gonna go deal with that. Wouldn't be a winter camp out if I didn't catch my structure on fire at least once. Let's see how these moose ribs are doing. If you want to know if they're done, you squeeze the end. And if the meat's pulled off the end of the bone, then you know they're done. And this one is done. This is from the moose I shot this fall. Oh, I like moose ribs. Oh. Oh, that was good. So messy though. My hands are so dirty. The only clean spots are where I was touching my food. I gotta keep working on this knife. Like the look of that. There you go, one hole done. Oh, it's time for a little dessert. Oh, got a little mini pie, nice and warm. Oh, that was good. All right, back to work. Three holes. Now it's time to harden it. When you get high carbon steel glowing hot and then cool it down suddenly, it becomes harder. So after you quench the knife in the snow, you test it with a file to see if it's the right hardness. I like it. I think it'll work just fine. Well, I'm at a good stopping point for tonight and I am exhausted. It's really late. So I'm gonna hurry up and get to bed. Oh, my back. I'll see you in the morning. We're gonna finish this knife. Oh, I'm tired. My arms are sore. Oh. Oh, look how lazy I am. It's 8:40 in the morning and the sun's up. Oh, the days are getting longer finally. All right, I got a lot to do today. We're gonna stoke up this fire and get breakfast going. All right, I got a couple cinnamon rolls I wrapped up in tin foil. We're gonna go and warm those suckers up. Got some very frozen breakfast sausages. Poured the hot water in my plastic cup. I can feel it crack and do all sorts of weird stuff. Hope you're okay there, cup. You're the only one I got today. I'm hungry, cold, and thirsty, and this is just hitting the spot. It's a spiced orange herbal tea. It's good. Try to squeeze another round out of those tea bags. Go for some ketchup or some brown sauce right now. Hopefully I thawed these and not burned them. Ooh, a little bit of both. Ooh, a caramel pecan cinnamon roll. Burned it a little bit right there, but it's still good. Oh, that was good. All right, I think it's time to get to work. Woo, this is cold. The tang's a little bit wonkier than I would like, so I'm trying to improve it with the file. All right, that's about as good as I'm gonna get with these tools. Now we need some wood for the handle. There's a contender. There we go. I put some water on my whetstone and it froze. I think I better warm up my whetstone first. Well, it's almost noon. I think I'm gonna start making some lunch. Look at all this lovely charcoal. It's nice having a big thing of charcoal to cook over. For lunch, I've got a Cornish pasty that I'm going to bake in the coals. It's a handheld version of a meat pie from the southwest of England. Now we got to set the rivets. This is the sketchiest part. These are just 1/4-inch steel rods, and they stick out just a little bit further than the wood. And when you smash them with a hammer, they'll mushroom on the end, and that'll squeeze the wood to the handle and make everything set. But if you smash the wood instead of the metal, you'll split the wood. There we go. Oh, now we sand. Looking pretty good. Did reasonably well. Now I baked pretty well, except I missed a spot. Cornish pasties were a traditional meal for the Cornish miners, something they could eat with dirty fingers. I think that's very applicable today. Got beef, carrot, and parsnips. It's good. Oh, that was really good. Got a little bit of cooking oil I want to rub into the handle to protect it, but it's frozen. So we're going to boil some water here. This dead black spruce is so dry and porous, it's just soaking up the oil. It's not a handle that should be clean. This is a handle that should have ash and soot on it. Well, it's not exactly razor sharp, but I got an edge on it. Oh, my back. I think I'm gonna take a little break and make some dinner. For dinner, I got some moose stew that I vacuum sealed and froze. Just gonna throw it in a pot of boiling water and it'll heat up. Easy peasy. Now about this. First rivet in the sheath, that's good. All right, we're gonna stretch the leather out a little bit. There we go, the knife and sheath. It's a sick little piece of equipment there, I like it. Oh, looks like we're just in time too. Oh yeah. Moose stew is done. Oh, that was good. Ah, feels good to have some food in me. This project worked out pretty well. But you know what? I've been out here for 3 days and it's time for me to go home. But I'm gonna leave the forge out here. Definitely think I'm gonna be back. Okay, I'll keep my forge out of the snow and ice. All right, we're gonna leave the charcoal here. I'm sure I'll need that when I come back. Anvil, yeah, it'll be fine. All right, I think that's it for this trip. I'll see you next video. If you like that video, make sure to check out the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel, where we have hundreds of videos just like this. And if you want to see our newest adventures, make sure to click subscribe so you'll get notifications.